Let's go live because I actually have some signal instead of posting a video. Look at that. Nice little island. I am getting ready and excited for the change in the seasons. Parking the boat in the sun is basically a winter thing. I would never do this when it's 90 degrees out, but being in the sun right now makes it so I don't have to run any heat. I'm adding solar right now, and I actually can show you that. So without having the generator running, I'm able to actually run a lot of stuff with this new solar panel. I'm going to make my next video about that. But I have one of them just laying on the roof right now. They're from Warrior. Pretty nice panels. And they're portable, so they can stand up by themselves and everything like that. So it'll be nice to add. Basically, charging the battery for the heater and never using a generator for the next 6 months would be great. Right, buddy? All right. Yeah. And then this is the north part of this island. It's kind of like a figure eight, where in the middle it would become two islands if the water was high enough. Don't hit cricket. And then as far as like how big it is, that's the end of it right there. And then another island is right behind it. So there's 9 islands right here. Hey, Steve. And Jeremy. It's nice to see you guys. Everything has been really well. We've been super lucky with the weather. We've been able to stay cool. See how I was actually thinking about taking the air conditioner out of the boat, but it's supposed to be 80 tomorrow. So we'll see. But these islands are giving me such a great option of being able to just park behind somewhere in the shade or pull out and avoid the wind. On this one, we're in this one spot. If you sit here, it can be 10 degrees cooler than if you're sitting in the sun in the breeze. Or if you just want 5 degrees cooler, you can sit over there and you're out of the breeze. And the fishing, I'm going to start doing that more on my videos as well. I've been fishing more regularly. But where people go to fish are these little stakes that are standing up. They're actually little markers. And I'm going to just fish right off of the island and try to catch something right here. And then clean it and put it in my next video. But we'll see. Intentions, right? Good intentions. So my hope is that the weather won't change rapidly. I don't want it to just get cold. I want to get used to it, but I'm definitely liking the fact that I don't see any snakes right now. There's no warmth at night. It's like 30 degrees, 38 degrees, sometimes 40 degrees. So that's enough to pretty much put them away for a while. I'm just checking these. The boat is still, my sailboat is sitting at the dock. I store it there. It's probably the cheapest place to store it. The houseboat, I haven't had a dock for the houseboat since February. And we've just been living on the river since last February, when I came back to Tennessee. And we have left Tennessee. We've gone to Kentucky one time, and we've gone to Mississippi and Alabama one time this summer in the dinghy. So yeah, Captain Bob's going to sell his house and buy a boat. That's perfect. The Mississippi River is a good place to retire, that's for sure. And River and Cricket always say hi to people. You know, you see how they automatically know that I'm on my phone and they just take off and do stuff? Once they hear me talking and recording, they're like, oh, he's not paying attention to us. It's kind of funny. My guess is that Cricket's going to be in the boat. Yeah, right underneath the bed. And then River, come here, bud. Where's your toy? But it's not like he can go far. I mean, it's a tiny little island. Look at that. Yeah, he's a good dog. Yeah, Steve, I don't even focus on that. Hey, River. Steve says hi, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice little spot. I thought I'd go live for you guys. So the change for going to solar and not using the generator as much is going to be great. I do have some caveats that I'll talk about in the next episode, but the solar panels hook directly to my battery bricks and they don't have an inverter. Not an inverter. They don't have a way to basically charge a different battery. It's actually proprietary to the battery setup that we have. So it's kind of pushing me more to use the bricks rather than the Red Dio lithium batteries. But at the same time, it all comes together and it's portable. And because I use 3 or 4 different ways of traveling, it's going to be great that I can just pull it out of here, simply put it in a sailboat or put it in the RV or throw it in the back of the truck to go camping. Or just take one battery instead of all of them would be perfect for me too. It's kind of a good little solution. The summertime has been completely look for shade, find shade, and then have the boat be in that spot and go out with the little dinghy. Now that it's winter, I'll do a lot more traveling with the houseboat because when it's cold and breezy on the river, you want to be inside when you're driving. And obviously the dinghy's outside driving. So if I just go to another lake to go fishing or what have you, I might just take the houseboat not to be outside, you know. The other thing is the diesel heater keeps it 72 degrees. So whether it's the air conditioner or the diesel heater running, we stay at around 70, 72 degrees inside of the boat the whole time. It's just pretty cool. Pretty cool. Just checking out. Okay, so the water generator I have done. I'm trying to think. One of my favorite things to do with my dad when he was still alive was do some sort of almost perpetual motion machines. We would talk about them all the time, and I really enjoy the concept of pumping water up high during the day with the solar, and then letting the water come back down a pipe, running a generator. And some cities even actually do that, where when the sun's going up, they pump water up and then they let the water come down. That's a cool way to make energy. I'm still trying to wrap my head around just trying to use as little energy as possible. And I'll be honest with you, everything I have as far as batteries and electricity were all donated. Like I didn't pay for any of them. So I'll be honest, I wouldn't have them unless it was like a collaboration with one of those companies. So yeah. 6 200 amp hour radio plus the 6 Battleborn batteries. So I have Battleborns and I have radio, and there's one other kind that I have. But the Voyeur package I like the best so far. It basically is just all in one with USB on the front and 12-volt plugs in the back, and it runs a cooking pan. So out of all the batteries I've had, I've always cooked on propane, but this one is actually something where I can cook using a pan here. I just made lunch, just had rice and beans, and it's all the solar power charged it, and it's already back up to 100 from the sun being ready, and I literally ate 10 minutes ago. So it's a pretty cool setup, and I can make popcorn from the sun. Can't really complain about that, right? Yeah. You want to go for a walk around the island? Come on. This is the small part of the island. And it's right now, I think it's 72 degrees out right now, and it's going to be 80 today. So we might actually end up moving into the shade. I'm not going to run any air conditioning or anything. The other thing is all these islands, this is high water right here. And now this is where we're at for winter pooling. So you actually get like a little beach where you can walk around the entire island and not have to worry about, look at this idiot. He's crazy. And not worry about like cutting your way through with a machete or anything. It's pretty cool. And then as the water gets lower, this island will attach to that island. And then it doesn't look like it, but there's a round island right there that we're going to move to next. See how the river's kind of taking the path over there? And it will allow us to, no matter what the sun, shade, or wind is, it's a 360-degree island with enough to protect us from wind and shade and also put us in the sun. So it's going to be a nice little spot. I'll probably move there in a week or so. I have enough provisions to stay here for 3 weeks right now. And no plans to go anywhere else for a little bit. This is the back side. And then you go over that, it's one more break of about 300 or 400 feet of woods. And this whole thing you're looking at is one big island. And on the other side is another backwaters area, floodwaters. And then it becomes another island and then the Tennessee River. So it's just a lot of water. I've seen 3 people since I've been here. They just come out and fish. Like, all of them are retired old men in their fishing boats. They're pretty cool. They wave to River. And then River sits and watches them fish. It's pretty cool. He likes having something to look at. And then look, we're done. That was our walk. That's why I don't worry too much about losing Cricket. If I lose her, she'll come out of the woods in a little bit. Yeah. And then I'm debating what I'm going to do for the dead of winter. So in Tennessee, I don't know how many of you guys actually are down here for winter. A lot of people come through here to go south a little bit more. Basically, there's 2 to 3 weeks of cold, complete 100% ice, never gets above 30. And in that case, the river's running so it doesn't freeze, but the marinas in these little bays will freeze. So my thought or hope is to put the houseboat somewhere where it will freeze and have the dinghy right next to the river if I got to go get supplies or do something or help a buddy or something like that. But for the most part, I'm going to try to freeze it in place for a couple of weeks in February and see how that works. He started to fish. He goes after those minnows. Yeah. Look at that. He's a good boy. Well, that's pretty much my afternoon, you guys. I'm going to take River for a dinghy ride, and then I'm going to work on editing a video that I can put up Sunday morning of coming here, opening up the solar, adding the solar, and I'll show it. The other thing that's really cool about the solar panels that I'll focus on is when it's summertime and I want to use them, I can park the boat in the shade and I can run a cord out into the sun and charge them. Or I can put the battery and the panel out into the cord, out into the sun, and not worry about having my boat out there. That's one of the main problems I ran into with my RV. I had Battleborn batteries, 180 watts solar, and I basically never parked the RV anywhere near the sun because that was when I was in eternal summer. And I would only go up north when it was summer, and then I'd come down south when it was winter, but I would never stay anywhere that was less than like 70 degrees. And essentially, you need shade. You want shade. So, well, I appreciate you guys checking in. I do have that small, I do have my little fireplace in the sailboat too. What I like about this fireplace, Steve, is it can hold 22-inch logs. So you're not cutting up tiny wood. It's actually like a pretty big fireplace. The one in the sailboat, you have to cut the wood to 7 inches, and that's no fun. It starts to just basically be every hour you're adding wood, and that's kind of more, it's kind of like, I mean, it's peaceful to do, but it's still a job kind of thing. Yeah. Well, I'm going to take River for a boat ride. You want to go for a boat ride? It was nice talking to you guys. I appreciate you stopping in on a Friday afternoon. And I just wanted to basically say hi to everybody. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys on Sunday.